Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So, in this lecture, I'm going to go over how we bring conceptual masses into a project. And then we're also going to take it a step further into the project now. So, thus far, we've only done creating conceptual masses and then bringing them into a project. But now we're going to actually do something with them in the project file. So, we're going to take your conceptual mass and start turning it into architecture. So what you're looking at here is a very simple conceptual mass, and I'm going to use this to sort of illustrate this point on what we can do in the project file. But before I do that, I do want to add another mass onto this just so I have at least two forms that I'm playing with so you can see what we can do in the project file. So before I do that, I want to sort of manipulate my environment here so I can see this model how I want to see it with the graphics that I want to see. You know that I'm a fan of that. So here we go. I'm going to just show you a couple things you can do in here to make this look less, say, technical. I'm going to right click on the view cube and click perspective. So now we're in a different sort of view, perspective view. All of our reference planes are still there. All these levels that I've already created, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all still there, but they're all solid lines now. Okay, now I'm going to right click on, I'm going to click on the view display options here and click graphic display options. I'm going to leave it on shaded. Check smooth lines with anti-aliasing if it's not already. Shadows, I'm going to turn those on. And for background, I'm just going to put none. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, I dig that a little more. I don't like seeing the gray backgrounds because it sort of blends in with my volumes. And I don't like seeing the sky in there either. I just like seeing the form that I'm working on. Okay, before I bring it into a project, I'm going to go ahead and change the material of this form. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going into the material in the properties palette. So we've done this already. So hopefully this isn't new to you. I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to give it a new name. Massing. You could also call it blue massing and have blue masses. That's fine. Go to appearance, change the color to white. And I'm going to go to graphics and change my shading setting to use render appearance and hit OK. Okay, now I have a white mass in there. That looks good. So before I move it into a project, I'm just going to add one more mass here. I think I'll do that from level 1. I'm going to go to model lines. I'm going to keep my placement plane at level 1. Do something like this. Let's see, I'll come out 70 feet. Why 70? And I'll do 40. I'll come back to here, 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 and there. I'll go back to my 3D view. So there it is right there. And I'll turn that into a solid form and I'll bring it to, I'll bring it up to level 3. So level 1, level 2, level 3, and roof. And now I'll change this material to white massing. There we go. Okay, so let's say that this is the structure that I'm going to work with for this next assignment. I'm going to be giving you the program for your next assignment of, okay, you're the designer for X project. Here's what they want. Make anything that you see fit. Make your conceptual mass, bring it into a project, and turn it into some architecture. That's essentially what we're doing. So what I have here is just my conceptual mass. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, I'm going to put this under, where are you? Fall, Advanced Revit, week 4. And I'm going to call this assignment 3 massing 1 example. I'm going to save over a file that I already made. That's fine. Okay, so here's my elevation, my level 1. I'm just going to keep my 3D view open here. And I'm going to go File, New, Project. And I'll do a default project. Okay, here's level 1. I'll click back over here to my conceptual mass and click load into project. And I'll click the new project that just opened, project 3. This is another file I have open that I'll show you in a little bit, and I'll hit OK. All right, so it's asking me to place it right away. So I'll just place it maybe right about somewhere somewhat in the middle. Hit escape, and then I'm just gonna, oops, I didn't mean to move that. I'm gonna grab this elevation marker, move that up. I'll grab that elevation marker, move that down. Okay, and all right, so I'm gonna look at a 3D view of this in here. That looks pretty good. Okay, so one thing you'll notice right away is, hey, these aren't the levels that I had in the other project, because in here I have 0 and 10 foot, but in here I have 0, I believe this is 15 feet, this is 30 foot, and this is 45 feet. So that's the first thing I'm going to do when I bring it into the project is sort of duplicate the levels that I have in the massing model. So I'm going to go to the south elevation. I'll change this to 15 feet. And I'll go ahead and copy that up for level 3 and copy it again for level 4. And there we go. Now my levels in my project match the levels in my conceptual mass. Okay, so here we are in the project file. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get this view set up. I don't really like how things are crashing together, how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, well, I'll leave those levels for the time being, but I'm going to do my normal setup here as we did many times. Shaded. You can put on silhouettes if you want. Definitely smooth lines with anti-aliasing. We'll turn on those shadows. And that should be good. So that looks pretty good. So this is basically where we took it in the last assignment. Now we're going to go a step further. Okay. So the beauty of conceptual masses is we can sort of use this as something in a way to trace over to build our project up, our actual practical project with walls, roofs, floors, things like that. So first thing I want you to do is go up to the Massing and Site tab, and let's look at some of these features in here. So first is this button right over here, Show Mass Form and Floors. So here's my mass form, right? Now, if I click that button and the light bulb turns off, my mass turns off. Click it again, my mass turns on. Now, say for example, I'm going to just delete my mass. It's already loaded into the project. I can go up to Place Mass right here. And there's the mass that I already brought in, and I can place it again. Okay, so that is how you can place a mass if you lost it, and this is how you can turn it on and off. And now we have all of these other sort of features over here. Okay, so let's talk about those. The first thing I want to do is, let's see. Let's say I want to turn this side right here into a wall. Right now, this is just a fictitious mass floating in space, but I want this sort of L-shaped piece here to be a wall. All right, so I'm going to click on wall right here. I'm going to go to let me do that again, Massing and Site tab, Model by Face panel, wall. Okay, I'm going to click wall. In my type selector, I'm going to do exterior brick on CMU. I'll pick that one. Yeah. And now I'm going to hover over this wall right here, and I'm just going to click. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I'm going to click that wall again. Let's go to the floor plan. I'm going to click that wall. I'm just going to flip it. Let's see if it looks different here. I'm guessing that my I'm just wondering why the brick's not showing. That's all I'm interested in. Let me just undo that. Shift. Okay, I'm just going to take this wall and not. Oh, it's still on generic 8. All right, let's try that again. Brick on CMU. Okay, that's looking better. That's starting to look like brick. Okay, there we go. So that wall is now brick on CMU. Okay, it goes currently all the way down. You can see it goes all the way down because this form sort of wraps this form. Now, how could I make it so this is just an L shaped? I could click on that wall that I just made, click edit profile, and then reshape it to form this sort of L shaped wall. Okay, I'm going to get out of there. I just want to show you a couple more things. Okay, so we've made one wall. All right, now if I turn off my mask, I can sort of look at that wall, see how it looks. Okay, yep, that's right where I wanted it. I can turn my mask back on and keep going. Now here's something I want to try. Let's see if we can update this wall based on just the conceptual mass. All right, I'm going to go back to my conceptual massing model, and I'm going to join. This is under modify geometry. I'm going to join this form with this form. Okay, looks like nothing happened, but this is sort of one form now. Do you see how if I hover over and hit tab, do you see how that middle area is sort of cut out now? So, okay, I'm going to load this back into the project 3. Okay, overwrite the existing. Let's go to my 3D view. Now I'm going to click on this wall, and I'm going to go up here and click update to face. Okay, since I changed the face, I want to sort of update the shape of this wall to the whatever the face is now. So I'm going to click update, and let's see what we get. Now we get the L-shaped wall. So there's two ways to sort of do this. I could have just carved away that wall, or I could have updated the conceptual massing model and sort of had to do it automatically, which is what I did here. Okay, so let's move around the horn here. Let's do this shape now. I'm going to go to wall. I'm going to hover over this face, and you can see it's an L-shaped face, and it'll put my wall right in there. It's currently a generic 8. I will change it to dogs and cats. Jesus. Okay, I'm going to do brick on CMU. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to get these animals squared away. I'm going to hit pause, and I will be right back. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Okay, so I got that wall in. So now I can turn off my mass and sort of look at what I got. That's looking pretty cool. Okay, and now I'm just going to kind of keep going around the horn for my wall at least. See if I can change this first. Brick on CMU. Okay, I'll click that one. That's what I wanted the first time. Okay, that works. And I'll do this, that, this, and that. So pretty much rather quickly, turn off the mask now. I've turned my conceptual model into something that's starting to look like architecture. Okay, so right now, I think what I'll do is work on the floors next. Actually, I'm going to delete this wall because I want to show you something else. Okay, I'm going to turn my mask back on. All right, let's do the floors, and then I'll do a curtain wall for you. Okay, so I'm going to select this whole mass. I'm just going to click on it and select it. Okay, now if you look up in the Modify Mass panel, that'll only come up after you select this. Notice it says Mass Floors right here. Okay, I'm going to click that and watch what happens. It brings up all the levels that I have in my project. I have 4 levels, and like basically it's asking me, what levels do you want to put into the conceptual mass? Okay, so right now there's no, say, surface or shape that I can select to make a floor because there's nothing in there. Maybe on the bottom, maybe on the top, but definitely nothing in between, right? There's nothing I can select. So if I click these, hit OK. It carves up my conceptual mass into, has a plane at least that I can use. Like you can see it right there, right? There's a mass floor there. Now there's nothing architecturally there yet. So if I turn this off, nothing's there, right? So, but now we have something we can click to. So let's make a floor. So I'm going to go up to massing in site, and I'm going to click on floor by face. Okay, we'll keep it on generic 12. I'm going to do the bottom. And I clicked it once. It looks like nothing happened, right? But now if you look up here, it says create floor. I'm going to click that, and now I have a floor. Now I'm going to click this one, the second one, hit create floor. Okay. Now this one's a little tricky here. This one, it won't even let me select this one because it's at the very top of the conceptual mass, so it knows it should be a roof, but it will let me select this one over here. That's actually pretty clever by Revit. So if I click that and then click create floor, I have a floor back there. So if I go to massing in site, I'm just going to hit escape now to get out of that command. I'm going back to massing in site, and I'm going to turn it off. And now it's really starting to come together. My floors are a little strange right now because they're crashing into my walls, but I know you know how to fix that. Okay, so let's add the roof now on this area and this area. I'm going to turn my mask back on. I'm going to go to roof. I'll keep it on basic roof generic 12. I'll click the very top. Same thing as the floors, create roof. Grab right here, create roof. Okay, now I'm going to go and turn off my mask. Now, what's interesting about what we've got here, okay, is we went pretty quick from playing around as if this is clay, right, to actual architecture. Something I can cut a plan from, I can cut a section from, and I can sort of start thinking about this as an actual structure and building. Okay, so one thing I might do right now is start playing with the floors a little bit. So I'm going to go to level 2. Let's see if I can select the floor here. I can do it right here. And I'm going to say, let's edit the boundary. And I'm going to go ahead to my align tool, and I'm just going to push this guy in to the inside of the exterior wall. Okay, hit the green check. Let's look what we got here. So that one's looking good. Let's play with this roof a little bit. I'm going to go to, let's make a new floor plan for level 3 because we don't have it. So I'm going to go up to view, plan views, floor plan, level 3 and level 4. Okay, here's level 3. Let's see if, it's not letting me see below. So I'm going to change the, let's see, base level. There we go. That's just my underlay. Let's see if I can grab this roof. Yep, there's the roof. Let's see. Maybe I can just pull this side in. Let me see if I can align it. There we go. Make sure I grab the right thing here. Let's see. 3D view. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. And this floor, I'll go ahead and update its boundary on level 3. Yep. And I'll do the same thing. I'll just use my align tool. Okay, hit the green check. And let me just check my 3D view. Just want to update the roof on this floor. Let's go to level 4 plan. Oh, it's not letting me. All right, let's do an underlay on this floor. Oh, escape there. I'll do level 3. There we go. I grab that roof, and then I'm just going to go right to a line and sort of line this guy up a little bit. Okay. So let's look at our 3D file. That's looking really good. I'm just going to edit these 2 floors. I'm going to push them in, and then I'm going to show you. Actually, I'll leave those where they are for the time being. But before I move on and show you how to add, say, a curtain wall, I'm going to go ahead and hide these. Hide in view category. And I'm going to right click on my view cube here and turn it on perspective. Give this a bit of a better look. Okay. All right. So let's turn on our mass. Go up to Massing Insight and click it on. There it is. So let's turn this whole face into a curtain wall. Okay. So I'm going to go to Curtain System. It says curtain system 5 foot by 10 foot. It's the only one in here. We can work with that for the time being. We can always change that one or duplicate it and make our own. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to click the face that I want it on, and I'm going to click create system. And boom, right away, we got something here. It actually fits quite nice because these are 5 foot high, and I think these are 10 foot wide. So in terms of a curtain wall, that's pretty good. Now, it doesn't have mullions or anything on there yet, but we can certainly add that. So what I might want to do to move on is sort of think about how my wall sort of relates. Let me turn off my massing model. How my wall relates with the curtain system. Maybe this wall, I'm going to grab this curtain wall here. Let me see if I can grab it. There we go. This curtain wall I'm talking about, like how does it relate in the sense of where this wall meets it? This is a little goofy and this is a little goofy. So maybe this wall wants to sort of turn the corner. So the whole point I'm trying to make is that the massing model can make floors, it can make walls, it can make roofs and curtain walls to at least get us started architecturally. Now I can go in here and start tweaking everything and make it exactly how I want. Likewise, I can always go back to my massing model like this, and I can sort of add on to it. So I'm going to add another shape in here. I'm going to draw on level 1. I'm just going to do something maybe. Let's see. 40 feet by 60. Okay, and I'm going to make that into a form. This one I'll only have go to level 2. So see, as I move it up and down, I can see my levels, my reference plane levels sort of highlight. So I'll put that one there. I'm going to grab this, change the material to white massing. So I would say any project you're doing for for Bob or Jessica or anything like that, you could start conceptually massing in here, bring it into a project, and boom, you're off to the races once you get a form that you're somewhat happy with. Okay, so I'm going to load this into the project, back into the one that I was doing. I'm going to overwrite the existing. Let's go to the 3D file, 3D model. So right now my mass is turned off, but let me go ahead and turn that on. So now it's coming out the back here. So let's go ahead and add the walls that we want, the brick on CMU. I'll just add these. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead to my massing and turn that off, take a look. And now I can continue on adding the floors and a roof over here. So if I go to my level 1 floor plan, look at this. I mean, I've already got sort of a floor plan started. I got the exterior walls. If I join this form to this form, I can delete this wall here, or I could just go in here, edit the wall, and split it myself. For example, going to modify, I'm just going to put a split in the wall, and now I can sort of edit this as I see fit. So At some point, you're going to sort of let go of the um, massing model and then just kind of start modeling in here. But one thing I did by doing that was I made a split all the way up. So I would have to go in and sort of edit this and clean it up. But what I want you to do for your next assignment, I'm going to give you a fake little project, but a fun one for a structure to house a collection of some kind, a collection of your choosing. Okay, so you're going to have to think about the size of your structure in relation to what it is that you're actually collecting. Is it cars? Is it toys? Is it flowers? Okay, whatever the case may be, it's a collection. So your structure doesn't have to be very big, but it can be very big. So you're going to have to think about that. And you're going to sort of want to play around in 3D and come up with a reasonable form. Now, what I would do is just make sure that these are all known distances. So I know this is 40 by 100 or whatever the case may be. I know how big things are because in my head, I'm also thinking about, I'm going to have to add structure to this. So I don't want some goofy structural layout that sort of breaks this all up. That's going to look ugly and it's going to look ugly really quick. So we want our structure and our form to work together. So make sure you're thinking about sizes and things like that, and structural bays and how big things could be, should be, especially in relation to what the collection is. So you're going to make a mass, you're going to bring it into a project, and you're going to start turning it into architecture like this. We're going to put walls on and things like that, but then we can edit those walls as we move forward through the semester and customize those walls and put in custom windows and things like that. But I think your project should at least have floors, roofs, walls, and curtain walls, and we'll leave it there for this week. So there'll be a write-up for this, so you don't have to memorize everything I'm saying, but I'm just trying to give you a heads up. Okay, so that's the plan. So the output, just so you know, for the assignment will be a 3D image of your conceptual mass and then a 3D image of the architecture in the project. Okay, so one thing I just want to show you is that if I want to make a view of just my 3D mass, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, or on rather, and I can grab everything in my model. That's a good way to do this. Basically, I'm just going to go ahead in this view right here, and I'm going to call this view 3D massing. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead, grab a wall, and I'm going to say hide in view category, grab the curtain wall, right click, hide in view category, grab the floors, right click, hide in view category, and then grab the roofs, right click, hide in view category. Now I just have a 3D view of my massing. I can put this onto a sheet, and then I can make a new 3D view for just the architecture. Okay, so this one I could call 3D. Okay, so then these will be your output for both for this next assignment. You're going to put that on your sheet with your title block. Okay, so stay tuned for the assignment sheet. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Hit me up with questions.